Disclaimer, this was not my idea. This was all my husband's idea. So the reason I say we because it's not just me, we started this YouTube channel was because my husband is full of ideas. And one day he calls me and says, I have an idea, which is most days. And he says, I watch so much YouTube all day, every day, and I never see any females talking about business on YouTube. And it's really important to get both perspectives. So here we are, starting a YouTube channel together. So today I'm going to talk to you about something that I get asked about all the time. Every time I'm doing a one-on-one consultation, or if I get an email or a DM, it's always about this topic, and that's about how to be consistent with your content. So the tips that I'm going to give you today, you can implement if you have a product or a service-based business. And here they are. So my first tip is to do your research and start with your branding. Really understand what fonts, what colors, what is going to best represent your brand. Then do some research in the kind of images that you want to produce. What colors do they need to be? Are they going to be outside? Are they going to be inside? Do you need a model? Do you need a makeup artist? Really go into all of the details that you will need in order to create this content. I find that it's really good also to create a mood board, and you can do this on Pinterest or you can do this on Instagram. Usually on Instagram, I'll have saved albums and I'll have one for every single client. So if I find something that's inspiring to do with their business, I'll save it to them and be like, look, this is beautiful. Why don't we take some inspiration from this content and go from there? It could be something simple as you really like the colors that's been used, you really like this font of text, you really like the backdrop, you like her outfit. So you take inspiration from styling, your hair, your makeup. So tip number 2 is pre-planning. So there is another step that is planning, but tip number 2 is pre-planning before you start creating. In this section, it's really important to plan out your couple of weeks or your month's content, so you know how much content you need, what it's going to look like, what captions you need for each image or video that you're going to post. And what I find really useful is to go out and be like, okay, what do I need to tell my audience? What do they need to know about my product? What do they need to know about my service? And how can I build this relationship with them? So you really want to offer them something of value. You don't just want to do a post for the sake of it because it's not going to get you anywhere. So in this phase, if you don't know how to do something, or if you don't have the skills to do something, this is when you would outsource. So if you need a graphic made and you can't make it, get a graphic designer. If you need some photos done and you can't take them yourself, ask a friend or ask a photographer to help you create that content. It's okay to get other people to help you with what you need as well. And then in this, find out, is there a budget for what you want to do? Do you need a makeup artist? Do you need to buy some props? Do you need to collaborate with someone? So there's lots of different steps that you consider before you go and actually create the content. So when I'm doing the content planning for Ella & Jackson, for example, which is the other company that I own with my best friend, say we get a new collection drop, the first thing we do is we'll plan our photo shoot, and we'll do 2 separate photo shoots. We'll do a campaign style shoot, and then we'll do a studio shoot for website specific content. And we find that this works really well for us. We love to be able to show the product where it should be worn. So we do swimwear and activewear. So we often do photo shoots at the beach or at the gym, or we'll be active in our photo shoots. And then we want to show you just with a plain white wall exactly how it looks from the front, from the side, and from the back. And we will do that for every single product that we get every time. So for that, we need to plan model, hair, makeup, the space, the photographer, how long it's going to take to edit. Once we get that content all ready to go, then we'll start planning the actual creation and execution of that content. So you need to figure out your timeline. You need to know when you need this content by, and then sort of work your way back from there. It's always good if you're working with a photographer, give them your deadlines. A good way to do it is if you have a photo shoot that day, just ask them for a couple of photos as soon as possible so that you have a little bit to post. Step number 3 is to start creating. Lock in a couple of hours a week to create the content that you need. Or if you do a monthly plan, then do this once a month. And for myself, I'll do this once a week. I'll do this either on a Sunday or a Monday for my own personal content. And I'll do this for every brand that I manage as well. So once a week, I'll sit down, what Canva content can I create? How many graphics do I need? And what do I want to say with these graphics? Do I have any events coming up? For myself, I have a workshop coming up. So I would want to discuss that within the content that I create. My husband and I will go out and shoot every couple of weeks, and I'll have enough content that will last me the whole month. And I need to figure out how many shots I need, what colors I want, because you don't just want the same, but you still want it to be consistent with the previous photos that you've had. So I really like light, white backgrounds, lots of green, lots of blue. I love the ocean. So we'll always go find locations that have that in it. And then when we create something, we know it's going to be consistent with the previous content that we've created. With Ella and Jackson, we'll go shoot for a whole day, and we'll have one morning with this model, the afternoon with this model, and then we'll go to the studio in the evening. So we'll have the whole day of shooting, and then we have enough content to last us the next 3 months. Once you finish creating your content, the next step is planning. So this is the second phase of your pre-planning, is planning, and you use the content that you've created to plan it all out. I love to use the app unumm, but there are so many different planning apps that you can use. I use that one because I manage a lot of different accounts. So this is how it looks. I don't know if you can see that. You can go through and you can plan like 2 months of content in advance, which is amazing. And it's good because you can have multiple people logged in onto that app at the same time. So I will go through and I will add in all of the content that we've taken for Ella and Jackson, and then I'll tell Keely, yep, I've done the content, and then I've written caption points. So if we have a sale or if we have a new product or something, when I have my calendar in front of me, I can see, yep, we need a photo of this, and this is what it's going to say. So this photo particularly is going to be about the fabric. This photo is going to be about why we've created this particular product. What are the benefits of it? If we've collaborated with someone, then it's going to be about them. We like to do storytelling as well. And then, like I said, you can go in and add the captions. So another example of that is I'll do that for my clients. I'll organize their feed. I'll go and do the captions, and then I'll flick them through an email and be like, I've done your content for the next week. I put in your captions. Can you go have a look, give me feedback, approve the ones you like, tell me the ones you don't like, and then we'll go from there. In this phase as well, you can plan all your hashtags. So it's good to have a group of 30 different hashtags that relate to that specific image. It's good to rotate your hashtags as well, every image or every second image, because Instagram really doesn't like it when you use the same hashtags every time. Cool, so step number 5 is execution. Post or schedule your content to go live. With Facebook or MailChimp, it has a scheduler, so you can pre-plan everything and put the time slots in, and then it will go live at that time. Whereas on Instagram, it's better to post live because you want to be there to engage with your audience when they're engaging with you. So if you have comments, you want to be able to reply to those comments. I always find that it's good to do some engaging before you do your post so that people are already coming back to your page, and then when you go post, they're already looking at you and they see that you've got something new to share. Then step number 6 is review your content. And this is good to do once a week, at the end of every week. What content did really well? Why did it do well? What are the stats on it? I always look at the amount of engagement that I've had with a post, the amount of shares, and then I'll look at the hashtag analytics as well. It's good to see how many people weren't following you through your hashtags. Did those hashtags actually work for that post? And then you can adjust your hashtags or adjust your content going forward. It's also a really good way to see what your audience likes so that you can create more of that. Yeah. So they're my 6 steps, my 6 tips for creating consistent content. I hope you found that useful. That's the way that I do it every single time, and that's the way that I do it for all my clients. How cute is my little kid? Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that you learned something and didn't find that too boring. Yeah, go to my Instagram if you want to give me a follow, and like and subscribe if you want some more tips. I'll see you next time.